check for any leaks. It could be coolant, power steering fluid, or diesel. The oil level is full. The power steering fluid is full. The air compressor is securely mounted. It's not cracked, bent, missing, or leaking, and it's gear driven. The coolant level is full. It's securely mounted. It's not cracked, bent, missing, or leaking. It's gear driven. The hoses are securely mounted. It's not cracked, cut, or bulging, or leaking, and the clamps are tight. The alternator is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or missing. The belt is not loose, cracked, or missing, no more than ½ inch of play, and the wires are not loose, burnt, or corroded. The exhaust is securely mounted. It's not cracked, bent, missing, or leaking. The flex hose is not cracked or rusted. And the bump system is pretty everything flammable. Steering box is securely mounted. It's not cracked, bent, missing, or leaking. The linkage is the steering shaft, the pitman arm, the drag link, the steering arm, and the tie rod. All of those are securely mounted and not cracked, bent, or missing. Springs are securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or missing. The leaves are not missing or fanned out. The U-bolts are securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or missing, and they are tight and in place. The mount is securely mounted, and it is not cracked, bent, or missing. The shocks are securely mounted, not cracked, bent, missing, leaking, or rusted. And the rubber bushings are in place. The slack adjuster is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or missing, or leaking possibly. The chamber is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, missing, leaking, or rusted. The U-clamp, or the ring clamp, is in place and it is not leaking. The hoses are securely mounted, not cracked, cut, bulging, or leaking. And the drum is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, missing, or warped. And there's no petroleum on the drum.
Are you gonna have that list on the test, or you gotta just memorize the whole everything you're supposed to look at?
This is all we get for the test, just this little card.
Alright. So I didn't get a card.
You didn't even get a card?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you need to tell them you need a card. Yeah, because we get to have this with us on the test.
Okay.
The rim is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, missing, or welded. The valve stem is is not bent or missing, and the metal cap is in place. The tire is securely mounted. It's not cracked, cut, or bulging. The tread depth should be at least 4/32 of an inch. It needs to be filled to manufacturer specifications. You can check with a thumper or tire gauge, and there should be no foreign objects in the tire. The hub seal is securely mounted. It's not cracked, bent, missing. It's full of oil. It's not leaking oil on the inside or the outside. If this were a vented system, the oil cap would be in place and it would be vented properly. The lug nuts should not be loose, missing, or rusted. The door is securely mounted. It opens and closes properly. The rubber seal is in place. The hinges are not cracked, bent, or missing. And the mirror is securely mounted to the door. The fuel tank is securely mounted. It's not cracked, bent, missing, or leaking. The vented fuel cap is in place, is tight, and the gasket is in place. And the mounting strap gaskets are tight and in place. Then you'll check for your protection alarm. cracked, bent, or missing. And the U-joint is tight and greased. The frame is here. Everything attached to the frame is securely mounted, and the frame should not be cracked, bent, or missing. The flanges are not cracked, or not cut, drilled, or welded. The air lines, red and blue, are securely mounted. They're not cracked, cut, spliced, leaking, or touching anything but each other. The electric line, the green, is securely mounted. The spring-loaded dust cover is in place, and the cord is not cut.
What's that called right there?
The electric line. Oh, this? The spring-loaded dust cover. And the cord is not cut, burnt, or corroded. The catwalk is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or missing. There's no oil or grease on the catwalk. The splash guards are securely mounted, not cracked, bent, missing, ripped, or torn. They don't touch the ground, and they don't touch the tires. The mounting bolts pointing down and straight out are not loose, cracked, or missing, or bent. The locking jaws are securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or missing. They're locked around the kingpin in the locking position, and there's no slack. Oh, and on the shocks, there should be no more than 1 inch of play.
Slack adjuster.
Slack adjuster, no more than 1 inch of play. I know it. The platform is securely mounted, and it's not cracked, bent, or missing. The release arm is not cracked, bent, or missing. It is in the locked position, and it locks and unlocks properly. The kingpin there is securely mounted. It is not cracked, bent, or missing, and it points straight down. The apron is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, missing, or welded. The sliding fifth wheel is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, missing, and it is locked in place, unlocks and locks properly with the locking pin. The rear brake slack adjuster The slack adjuster is the same as the steer axle. The airbag. Can you see it? The airbag is securely mounted. It's not cracked, bent, damaged, cut, ripped, torn, leaking, or oil soaked. Mount, same as steer axle. Shock, same as steer axle. And the torsion bar is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or missing. And the rubber bushings are in place. Okay, the rim, check the same as the steer axle. Valve stem, check the same as steer axle. The tire, check the same as the steer axle, except that the tread depth needs to be at least 2/32 of an inch. The hub seal, check the same as the steer axle, except this will always be a sealed system. The lug nuts, check the same as the steer axle. And if this were a spoke rim, there would be a spacer between the tires. It would need to be securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or missing, and evenly spaced. The air and electric connection. The glide hands should be securely mounted. And the gaskets should be in place and not leaking. The electric, check the same as the tractor. The header board panels should be securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or missing. There should be no holes, and all the rivets should be in place and not missing. The landing gear is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or missing. The crank handle is not cracked, bent, is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or missing, and is secured in its holder. The legs are securely mounted, the legs are not cracked, bent, or missing. They move up and down together, and they should be fully raised. The feet or pads are securely mounted and in place. There are no doors on the side. Let's talk about the rear. The frame is unibody. The side rail is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or missing. Cross members are securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or missing. And all of the rivets on the side of the truck should be in place and not missing. For the trailer wheels, the rim, check the same as the drive axle. The tire, check the same as the drive axle. The hub seal, check the same as the steer axle, because this could be vented or sealed. This one is vented, and it is properly vented and full. The lug nuts, check the same as drive axle, and if there were a spacer, check the same as drive axle. The spring, check the same as the drive axle. The airbag, if this one had one, check the same as drive axle. The mounts, check the same as the drive axle. The slack adjuster, check the same as the drive axle. The chamber, check the same as drive axle. The hoses and lines, check the same as the drive axle. And the drum, check the same as the drive axle. The doors are securely mounted. They open and close properly. The seal is in place, and if there were a seal here, it would be intact. The hardware, such as the hinges, the door handles, and the stake sockets, are all securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or missing. They work properly, and the ties hold the door open properly. The splash guards, check the same as the tractor. Alright, then I'm going to skip the cab check, the lights and reflectors. These are the clearance lights. This one and this one are both the tail and the brake lights. And this one and this one are both the turn signals and the four-way flashers. And these are the reflectors. They should all be securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or missing, clean. They work properly, amber in the front, red in the rear. And the headlights are on the front of the vehicle. They are securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or missing. They work properly, and the high beams and low beams work properly.
And that's it.